everyone, and welcome to day 16 of the 30-day self-harm challenge. Today's question is, how do you feel about your scars? Obviously this applies to people who have scars. I'm over 2 years clean, so I do wear short sleeves and stuff. My scarring is right here on this part of my wrist. It's not extremely noticeable, but I don't feel like ashamed or anything of it, but it can be a little bit embarrassing sometimes, like depending on who's noticing it. So the other day, at my first day at my new job, one of the other kids training took it upon himself to ask me what it was from, and I was like completely caught off guard. It's like my first day at my job, so I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, I cut myself, so I was just like, nothing. Situations like that are uncomfortable, but other than that, I don't exactly feel bad about them. I'm actually getting a tattoo on this whole part of my arm, and probably eventually on my arm, but here at the end of June, and I think most of it, or at least parts of it, is going to be covered. And I'm getting that because that's always been my motivation to have a tattoo where I used to self-harm, like if I can stop self-harming. I just want to put something pretty there and just something better to look at if I ever feel like self-harming again. I'm also putting a little message here. You'll see at the end of June what I'm getting. So I do feel like I need that there and I want that there just as, I don't know, something good and pretty in place of my scars. But other than that, I don't like feel bad about them or anything, and honestly I don't usually notice them anymore, but in certain situations I will if I feel like I notice people looking at them. Like a couple years ago when I first started babysitting for someone, I was like self-conscious because I didn't really want the kid's mother like staring and noticing, and then obviously the other day at my job that was like uncomfortable and I was completely caught off guard. Nobody should feel ashamed of their scars, and I know it's hard to get to a place where you don't feel like you need to cover them up all the time. Honestly, people might ask you questions about it or stare. I used to have to either wear long sleeves when it was hot or a bunch of bracelets and stuff, and I hated that, so honestly I'd rather have it be visible. If people notice, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, but like you don't have to go into detail or anything, you just be like, nothing. It's one thing when kids ask you, but I feel like when someone like your own age or older asks you, it's like, come on now. I know maybe some people just don't know what those kind of marks would be from, but like in general, people just do stuff like that. You could have like a huge scar from a surgery and they're like, what's that? I feel like you just don't ask people that out of the blue, especially if you don't know them. That's how I feel. Let me know how you guys feel, and I'll see you tomorrow.